Brought to you by Penguin.
We'll Prescribe You Another Cat by Syou Ishida. Translated by E. Madison Shimoda. Read by Natsumi Kuroda and Naruto Komatsu. One. Kotetsu, Noel, and Bibi. Moe Otani suddenly became aware that the ground beneath her was dank and soggy. She scanned her surroundings. Unknowingly, she had wandered into a dimly lit alleyway. Just a moment ago, she had been walking down the lively Kawaramachi Street, one of Kyoto's premier shopping districts. The street was always bustling with tourists and young people, and the crowds only grew larger from evening into the night. Usually, on her way back from lectures, Moe and her friends would join the throng, hitting up cafes and shops. But today, she was alone. Yes, she had headed west on Takoyakushi Street to avoid the crowd, but somehow ended up in an unfamiliar location. Standing in a cul-de-sac, she didn't recognize the narrow, old-fashioned block that towered before her. The door was open, revealing a hallway extending into its depths. Where on earth? She had been so out of it. It was precisely why she'd been called unreliable and accident-prone. Still, this was the first time she'd actually got lost because she had been distracted. She let out a deep sigh. The best way to avoid seeing her boyfriend would be to wander around a bit. She could go to a friend's place, whine and fuss and act like she hadn't noticed anything. She'd ignore her phone. Yes, she could continue to be oblivious. Would that delay the breakup? Or would he end things anyway with a text? It would probably hurt less that way. She stood still, eyes fixed on the gloomy building. If only her situation would change while she stood right here in this shadowy alley. If only some higher power could wave a magic wand to prevent the impending breakup. Anything would do. She wanted to run away from it all, to look the other way. But her pointless time-wasting only amplified the pain. For the first time in a while, she was about to see her boyfriend, but the thought brought no joy. If anything, she almost wished it wouldn't happen. She sniffed and turned her back to the building. Just then, a small voice called out.
"Hey, you there?"
She spun around, but there was no one in sight.
"Hey!"
The voice called again. It was coming from somewhere above her head. There was an open window on the 4th or 5th floor, quite high up. To her surprise, she spotted someone peering out.
"Over here!"
It was hard to see clearly against the backlight, but it sounded like a man. His voice was nasal and high-pitched. He seemed to be wearing something white. She held her breath and she watched him hang his entire upper body out of the window. "Be careful, that looks dangerous."
No, I'm not a dangerous person. I'm a good person."
She couldn't make out his expression, but he seemed to be laughing. The man's cadent Kyoto accent drifted down.
"Since you've made it all this way, please come up. I'm on the top floor, the 2nd unit from the back. Don't hesitate."
"Not at all, I'm not hesitating."
"Shall I come down to you? It's a bit of a stretch, but it's not impossible for me to jump from this height. No, wait, it's too far. Oh, no, actually, I think I can manage it. Let's give it a try. Nothing ventured."
The man pitched forward.
"Wait!"
Moe.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?